Hello and welcome all of you to Unacademy. Unacademy is undoubtedly India's largest education platform that has helped thousands of students across the country to crack toughest of examinations with best educators, quality content, and great learning experience. With Unacademy, you get access to unlimited live and recorded courses from India's best educators. Therefore, here I welcome all of you on Unacademy. But first, let me introduce myself. I am Tasneem Ahmed and I have completed my master's and MPhil in English. I have also been certified in TESOL. I have trained 1,000 plus students and I have 8 years of professional teaching experience. Therefore, be rest assured you are in good hands. In this video, we will be discussing about the definite article. In my previous video, we discussed about the indefinite article, and this video is focused on the discussion of the definite article. But first, let me give you a little more insight on what you will get on Unacademy. Unacademy offers you daily live classes, live tests and quizzes, structured courses, unlimited access to all our live and recorded courses to watch from the comfort of any of your devices. Well, all you have to do is buy the subscription and get free live classes and prepare with top educators and get the access to comprehensive syllabus of mathematics, social science, Hindi, science, and English. Well, you can also talk to us on Telegram application. All you have to do is download the Telegram application, type the link in URL and click on join, and you will be talking to us. One more thing is to install the Unacademy Learning app on one of your devices. It is pretty much compatible with all your devices. Therefore, go ahead, download this application, which is Unacademy Learning application. And then comes the important step of all, which is to buy one of these subscriptions. That is either 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, or 48 months. But I would recommend only the 48 months course if you are a ninth grader. If you are a ninth grader, I would suggest go ahead and buy the subscription for 48 months, which is available only on 67% discount. Well, not just 67%. If you were to type the code TA01 along with the 67% discount, you will get extra 10% off discount on the available 67% discount, which means that you will be able to buy this subscription for next 4 long years just for 36,000 rupees, and you will only be paying 750 rupees for a month. And if that looks too much, let's break it down on a daily basis. And for a day, you will only be paying 25 rupees for next 4 years, which definitely isn't too much at all for your education. This is an investment that you make into your education for your future. Therefore, do not think twice. Go ahead and buy the subscription where you can get the access to live and recorded courses for each and every subject that you want. And if you are a 10th grader, then you have a subscription of 36 months, which is on a discount of 64%. And with the code TA01, you have extra 10% discount where you can avail this course only for 28,800 rupees, wherein you will be paying 800 rupees for a month and only 27 rupees for a month with the code TA01. And if you are a 10th grader, go ahead with a 36 months plan, and if you are a 9th grader, go ahead with a 48 months plan. Do not wait. It's an investment that you are making into your future, into your education. So do not hesitate, do not think twice. It's not too much when it comes to education. Go ahead, proceed to pay, type the code and buy the subscription today. Well, now let us move on to today's video, and the topic of the day is the definite article. Well, in my previous video, I taught you about the indefinite article and the usages and where you are not supposed to use the indefinite article. Let me give you a heads up on what the types of articles and what they are called. Well, in English grammar, we have 2 types of articles, one as the indefinite article and the other as the definite article. The indefinite articles are a and an, and the definite article is the. Let me quickly give you the recap of what I taught you in my previous video. And if you want to know more information about the indefinite article, please go back and watch my previous video and then come back and watch this video again. Therefore, you will have a clarity on what you are learning. Like I told you, let me give you a quick recap of what I taught you in my previous video. I told you that there are three articles, and the. And an being the indefinite article, the being the definite article. An refers to people or things which are not sure or which are unknown or which are not definite, as in indefinite. The refers to things, nouns, and people which you are sure about, which you are definite about. Well, the indefinite article is used in front of only singular and countable nouns, and the indefinite article is not used with uncountable and plural nouns. Again, a is used in front of nouns producing consonant sounds, and an is used in front of nouns producing vowel sounds. So to know more in detail about these few pointers that I have given you over here, please go back and watch my previous video and come back and continue with this video. Those who have watched my previous video, let us proceed with today's topic, that is the definite article. What is a definite article is the question. Well, to begin with, the definite article is the, T-H-E, the. The is the definite article. It normally states a specific thing or points out someone or something in a particular or already known. As in somebody we already know, referring to somebody in particular, where I and you both know who we are talking about. Let me simplify that for you with an example. Let me give you a scenario. And the scenario is, I saw a puppy in an alley behind my house. The puppy that I saw in the alley was a German Shepherd. Now let us analyze this situation, this scenario over here. I saw a puppy in an alley behind my house. Now I am sharing this information with you for the very first time. I and you both are discussing this for the very first time, and I am mentioning about a puppy and about an alley for the very first time, and I'm not sure. I'm not definite about which puppy I am talking, and neither are you, and same way I'm not sure about which particular alley that I am talking about. Therefore, we are going to use a and an in front of indefinite nouns. So that is why a puppy, because we have mentioned it for the first time. They are indefinite. We do not know which puppy, we do not know which alley. They are unknown to us, they are indefinite to us. Now in the second statement, I am referring to the puppy which I referred in statement number 1. When I mentioned it for the first time, it was unknown. But now in the second statement, I know. I and you both know which puppy I am talking about. Yes, we are talking about the same puppy which I mentioned in statement number 1. Now in statement number 2, it is known to both of us here. It is known to both the parties over here. Therefore, it is definite here. This puppy, which was indefinite in statement number 1, has become definite over here now. Therefore, here you are going to use the definite article, which is the puppy. The puppy that I saw in the alley. Which alley? The alley. Well, in statement number 1, when I said an alley, I wasn't sure which alley I was talking about. Generally, there are probably 10 alleys behind my house, and I refer to any one of them. But in statement number 2, I and you both know which alley we are referring to. I'm referring to the same alley that I referred in statement number 1. So now it is, we both are aware about which alley we are talking. We are sure, we are definite about which alley we are talking. Hence, the definite article, the. So this means that when you are using the same noun for the second time in same situation, in same scenario, then you go with the definite article. And if you are using it for the first time, then you go with a or an. That is indefinite article. Before I proceed with informing you about the usages of the articles, let me give you one more information, that is the pronunciation of the indefinite article. Well, this article has got two different pronunciations. One as the, and another as the. The and the. Now the question is, where are you going to use the pronunciation of the and where are you going to use the pronunciation of the? We all usually make this mistake of using the. Either we use the all the time or we use the all the time, but then that's not the case. You are supposed to use the and the based upon the vowels and the consonants. As in my previous video, I also gave you the details of what are vowels. Vowels are letters like A, E, I, O, U. These are vowels, and consonants are letters like B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z. All these are your consonants and these are your vowels. So now, in front of your vowels, the article the is pronounced as the with the sound the, and in front of your consonants the article is pronounced as the. Well, the spelling is pretty much the same, nothing, no change in the meaning, or no, nothing at all. It's just a change in the pronunciation, which is in front of vowels, like over here, the apple, the egg, the other. Now you can see that these are vowels. These are vowels, and in front of vowels you pronounce the article, the definite article, as the, and in front of consonants you pronounce the definite article as the bells, the couch, the chair. So remember this, because this is really important, because every time I'm going to be explaining you, I might come across vowels and I might come across consonants as well. So you should be pretty aware of where I am using the and where I'm using the. So be mindful of this error. This is in fact a grammatical error. You cannot just stick to the or just stick to the all the time. It has to be interchanged and has to be used appropriately with vowels and consonants. So be careful with that. Vowels, the, consonants, the. Now let us proceed towards learning the usage of the definite article, where you are supposed to use, where it is important that you use it without fail. Number one, the is used before nouns of which there are only one of their kind. Example, the earth, the sun, the moon, the South Pole, the North Pole, the Jupiter, the Saturn. Now, when I say one of their kind, as in we just have one earth, we just have one sun, we just have one moon, one South Pole, one North Pole, the Jupiter, the Saturn. These are referred to as the. You will refer to them only with the definite article, that is the. Remember, when you are referring to nouns which are only one of their kind, then it is supposed to be used with the definite article. That's number one. Number two, the is used before the names of rivers, seas, oceans, mountain ranges, like the Ganges, the Pacific Ocean, the Alps, the Bay of Bengal, the Indian Ocean, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Now, these names are pretty familiar. I and you clearly know that these things exist on the earth. I know that there is Ganges, you know that there is Ganges, I know the Pacific Ocean is there, I know the Alps are there. You and I all are aware of these things. So there is no point in referring these names as a or an. They have to take, you have to use the definite article, because the nouns over here are pretty much common and everybody knows these names, and these rivers and oceans are pretty common. We all are aware of these names. Therefore, it takes the definite article. Now, the next one is the is used before the names of famous buildings. Again, famous buildings. When I say famous buildings, we are referring to names which are pretty common and pretty famous and known to everybody, like the Qutub Minar. Now, you know what is a Qutub Minar. I know what is Qutub Minar. Taj Mahal, Eiffel Tower, Burj Khalifa. These are famous buildings which pretty much everybody is aware of, which means these become your definite nouns. Therefore, the definite article, the Qutub Minar, the Taj Mahal, the Eiffel Tower, the Burj Khalifa. Similarly, when you come across famous buildings, remember, use the indefinite article, the in front. Sorry, definite article. Sorry, my bad. It is definite article, which is the. Now, next one is the is used before the names of famous books, like just like I told you a little while ago, in front of famous buildings, famous books as well, like the Quran, the Gita, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata. Now, all these are famous books. We all know that these books are there out there. So, no point of using a or an over here. It demands the definite article, as in the Quran, the Gita, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata. They do not take a or an, but they take the, which is a definite article. So next one is the is used before the names of important posts like the president, the prime minister, the principal, the chief minister, the vice principal. Now these posts are pretty important and of course are used by everybody in common. Like when you refer to the president, we all refer to him as the president. We do not say a president, we say the president. These are important posts which are used by everyone and they are definite. Therefore, the definite article is what you use in front of these posts, like the president, the prime minister, the principal, the chief minister, the vice president, etc. Next one is the is used before the names of newspapers and channels, like just like I told you a little while ago, when you are referring to famous books, famous buildings, or known things to all of them, we refer to the definite article, which is the. Similarly, names of newspapers, names of channels, like the Hindu happens to be a newspaper. The Times of India happens to be a paper. The Deccan Herald, newspaper. The Republic, the channel. The NDTV, a TV channel, a news channel. Now, these are known to everybody. They are common to everybody. You know what is the Hindu. I know what is the Hindu. Everybody knows what is the Times of India, the Deccan Herald, the Republic, the NDTV. We all are aware of these news channels and newspapers. Therefore, it only makes sense to use the in front of them, which is the definite article. So next is the is used before the superlatives. Superlative is the degree that you use in front of an adjective. And when you are using the superlative degree, you go with the definite article the, like the strongest, the tallest, the fastest, the slowest. Remember, the superlatives are always introduced with the definite article the. So the next one is the is used before the ordinals. I hope you all know what are ordinals. Ordinals are nouns like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, it goes on. So when you are using these ordinals in your statement, you always introduce these ordinals with the definite article, the, like this: the first, the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth, and the sixth, the seventh, the eighth, it goes on. So remember, ordinals always take the definite article. Next is the is used before proper nouns when used as plurals. Remember, the is used before proper nouns when used as plurals. They are supposed to be used as plurals. Only then you go ahead and use the definite article in front of them, like the example which is given over here. The Kapoors and the Mehtas are attending the party too. Now, when I say the Kapoors, well, Kapoor is one proper noun. Kapoor is a name, and so is Mehta, a name. But when you refer these names in plural forms, like referring to in general, when you say Kapoors, when you say Mehtas, you're not just referring to one person over there, but you are referring to the entire family here. When you say the Kapoors, when you say the Mehtas, you are referring to the entire family, but in plural form. Therefore, it is no more a proper noun. When you refer it like this, it's not a proper noun, but instead it becomes your common noun, because you're using that name to refer that to every single person, every single member in that family. Therefore, it becomes your common noun. And you go with your definite article when you use it in plural sense. When you use proper nouns with the plural sense, like this: the Kapoors and the Mehtas are attending the party too. Next is the is used before the adjectives which describe the nouns. Like when you are using the adjectives in front of the adjectives, you always use the, like this: the cold winter, the large gate, the strange house. So this is a pretty general thing. We all are aware of this thing. In front of adjectives, we always use the definite article. Next is moving on to the omission of the articles. Now we've learned where we are supposed to use these definite articles. Now the question is where you have to omit it, as in where you are not supposed to use these articles, which is another important factor for you to understand where you are not supposed to, where you are supposed to omit the article. Well, number one, articles are omitted in front of proper nouns. In front of proper nouns, you definitely do not use any article whatsoever. Like India, you don't say the India, you say India. Similarly, Robin. Robin is a name of a person, therefore you do not say the Robin, you say Robin. Similarly, Shakespeare was an amazing writer. Now, you wouldn't say the Shakespeare because you are referring straight away to Shakespeare, the one who was the famous writer. Therefore, it's his name. Similarly, Ashoka was a great king. Now, Ashoka is the name of the king over here that we are referring to. So, because that is why it's a proper noun. Therefore, you do not use any article in front. But unless you are using a proper noun as a common noun, like this: I'm sure he is a great writer, but he can't be the Shakespeare. Now, over here, you can see that we are not referring to Shakespeare as Shakespeare himself, but then we are using him as a common noun, in common. We are referring to him as somebody in common, where we can compare. So here, in this situation, it is okay to use the in front of this proper noun, because here it's not functioning like a proper noun, but instead it is functioning like a common noun. Another example would be Varun Dhawan is the Salman Khan of Bollywood. Now, Salman Khan is actually a proper noun, but in this sentence, in this particular sentence, I am referring to Varun Dhawan is like Salman Khan, where the Salman Khan is referred to as common noun in general. Therefore, you use the in front. It's okay to use when you are using proper nouns as common nouns. So there is one situation where you omit and where you use the articles. Number two is before names of substances or abstract nouns or uncountable nouns, where you omit, where you do not use. Where you do not use is too much salt can hurt your kidneys. Now, when you are referring to, take a close look at this example. Too much salt can hurt your kidneys. Now, salt is your uncountable noun. So when you are saying too much salt, you're not using any article over here because we have omitted. And why have we omitted is the question. Too much salt can hurt your kidneys. Here you are referring to salt in general, in a general sense, as if you're not pointing out which salt, this one, the one on the table, the one in the room, the one in kitchen. No, not in any particular salt we are talking about. We are talking about salt as in general, like the amount of salt intake. So too much salt. Here in this situation, you omit, but when you use it like this, could you pass me the salt? Now here, pay close attention. Could you pass me the salt? Now when I am saying this, probably I am seated on the table and there is a salt bottle on the table and I am asking somebody to pass the salt over. So here I am referring to a particular salt bottle. Therefore, it is pass me the salt. Here you say the salt, but here it is used in general sense. Therefore, it is not the article is not used, but over here it has been used because you are pointing out at the salt bottle. The next one is article is omitted in front of plural countable nouns used in general sense. Focus on this term because I'm going to be using this term a lot. In general sense, as books are your best friends. Now when I say books are your best friends, I'm referring to books over here, but then you can clearly see there is no article whatsoever. We haven't used anything because when I say books are your best friends, I'm referring to books in general. I'm not saying these books, I'm not saying those books, I'm not saying the one in your house, I'm not saying the one at the library. No, I'm referring to books in general. All the books out there in totality, in general, they mean I mean books. So they are referred to in general, therefore you omit the usage of the article over there. Same goes with cell phones are used by everyone. Again, I'm not pointing out any particular cell phone over here. I'm using the noun in general. That is why you omit your article here. But supposing if I say I always refer the books, when I say I always refer the books, over here I am referring to the books which I have in my shelf, in my cupboard. I have a set of books, I have a bunch of books kept over here in my shelf, and I'm referring to those particular books. I'm not using the word books here in general, but then I am pointing out at something in common. That is why we have used the over here. But when you use that in general sense like this, you omit the article. The next one is, it is also omitted before the meals when used in general sense. Again, I told you to focus on the term general sense. When you use it in general sense, when meals are used in general sense, like lunch is served, dinner is served. You are generalizing. You're using this term in general. You're not saying that this particular lunch or this particular day or this particular moment or this particular day. You are just generally saying lunch is served, dinner is served. Therefore, you omit the article. But supposing if you were to say, the dinner at the party was delicious. In this situation, you are referring to some particular period of time and you are referring to one particular dinner, that is, at the party, the dinner that you had, that particular dinner was delicious. So you are referring here, it's not generalized. You're not generalizing here, but then you are pointing out. Hence, it definitely requires a definite article, which is the. But here, you can go ahead and omit it. So the next one is articles are omitted before school, college, university, church, hospital, office. If you are visiting these places with purpose of your own, focus on this term, purpose of your own, as in, supposing if I say I work at school. Now I'm working at school. So I'm saying I work at school. There is a purpose behind me going to school. Now when I go to school, there is a purpose because I'm going there because I work there. So that I have my personal agenda. I have my personal reason behind. So I work at school, not the school. You wouldn't say the school. It would be grammatically incorrect if you have your own purpose behind, your own personal agenda behind. So when you have your own personal motive, you wouldn't use, but you omit it. The same goes with I go to church, not I go to the church. You wouldn't say. If you are going there to worship, to offer your prayers, then you say I go to church, not I go to the church. That would be incorrect. The same goes with I had been to court. Now supposing if I have a hearing at court and I go there, it is my own personal agenda, it's my own personal motive, that's why I go there. Therefore I refer to that as I had been to court, not I had been to the court. The court would be incorrect. So here in these scenarios you totally omit the article. But supposing if you were to say like this, kids are playing near the school, and supposing if you were to say I saw her at the church. Now in these two situations, analyze it. Kids are playing near the school. Now when you say near the school, we are not visiting the school. I don't have any purpose with the school. I am not referring to school at all, but instead I'm just using the school as a landmark, as a building. That's it. I'm just using this as a building to refer. So here I have no motive, I have no purpose behind. Therefore, here you will have to use the definite article, which is the. Unlike here, when you're using when you have your personal motive behind, when you have your personal agenda behind, you omit it. When you are using it in general as a reference, like this, like the kids are playing near the school, in that situation you use it. You do not omit it, but you use it. The same goes with the second one as well. I saw her at the church. Now here again, I have no intention of, I'm not visiting church, I'm not going in there, but then I'm just using this church as a building, as a reference alone. Therefore here you use it as the church and the school, unlike the words, the sentences, the scenarios what we have used. Which means, in a nutshell, when you have your own personal agenda, when you have your own personal motive in visiting these places, that is school, college, university, church, hospital, office, or be it temple, you omit the article. Otherwise, you go ahead and you use it. The next one is articles are omitted before names of our relations like father, mother, uncle, aunt. Like for example, when you say father and mother left early in the morning. So when you are referring to father and mother over here, you are referring to your own mother, our own mother. You are not referring to some father or some mother in general, but you're referring to when I say father and mother left early in the morning, I'm referring to my father here. I'm referring to my mother over here. So there is no point using the over here. It's totally unnecessary because these are relations which are related to me. So there is no point of using it. Therefore, you go ahead and you omit the article and you instead say father and mother left early in the morning. The same goes with uncle and aunt. When I say uncle and aunt, I'm referring to my uncle and my aunt. I'm not referring to in somebody general, but then I'm referring to my aunt and my uncle. Therefore, I would say uncle and aunt will visit us this summer. The same is the case with cook and maid when the cook and maid are our personal maid and personal cook. Supposing if you were to say, maid had called this morning asking for a day off. So here I am referring to my personal maid, the one who is my domestic help. The same way, cook has informed about the delay in dinner. Here again, the cook here that I'm referring to is my own cook and not in general. So when you're referring to your own personal relations as father, mother, uncle, aunt, and of course maid and cook, which are related to you, then go ahead and omit the articles. The next one and the last one is articles are omitted before the nouns while referring to the same person. This is very interesting and really important for you to understand because take a look at the statement. The president and host has arrived. Now here we have mentioned two different nouns. One is the president, the other is host. But you can see that the second noun has no article whatsoever. It has been omitted. When you use it like this, when you use the article for the first noun and when you omit it for the second one, it means that you are referring to the same person. These are not two different people. In fact, the president is the host as well. He is the one. Let's assume that there is a party going on and the president is the one who has actually given the party, who has thrown the party, and he is the one who is hosting the party. So in that particular scenario, the president, he himself is the host as well. So we are referring to the same person, the president and host. So in that scenario, the second noun requires you to omit the article. Supposing if you say the president and the host, in this situation, you are referring to a different person. President is one person and the host is another person. But supposing if you omit, and if you were to say like this, the president and host has arrived, it means that you are referring to one single person. The same is with plumber and carpenter. The plumber and carpenter. Now here you can see that we have omitted the article. There is no usage of article over here. It is carpenter. So this means that the plumber is also a carpenter. Supposing if you say the plumber and the carpenter, then we are referring to plumber number one and the carpenter number two. They're two different people. But supposing if you are not using that and you are just referring to omitting the article and using it like this, like the plumber and carpenter, then we are actually referring to one single person, that is the plumber, who also is a carpenter. So this is another place where you actually omit your articles. So that's all about articles. That's all about the definite article. That's all about the omission. Thank you very much for watching. Please do leave your comments below. Let me know how I can improve my classes or what I should be doing in my next classes. If in case you have any suggestion, leave your comments below. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to hit that bell icon for those notifications. And the most important thing of all, do not forget to type in TA01 when you are availing that offer, which is to get that extra 10% off discount on your subscriptions. Remember, 9th graders go with a 48 months plan and 10th graders will go with a 36 months plan and will type the code TA01. Also join our Telegram group for latest updates on our upcoming videos. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. See you again soon. Bye-bye.